Don't let your car commit murder so you don't have to hide the body. All right, let's get this out of here. Here's a list of what you're going to need to get started. Oil, oil filter, the funnel. This is the gasket you're going to put on your drain plug. This is the tool you're going to use to remove your oil filter. This is the catch basin for catching your oil so you can take it back, and I'll show you where you're going to take this back to so you can have the oil recycled. And you're going to need some tools. You're also going to need a jack, 2 jack stands, and I like to use wheel blocks or chalk blocks to keep my vehicle from moving, because I kind of like not dying while I'm changing the oil. It's my preference. So how do you know what kind of oil to get or what oil filter? Well, I'll show you right now. So my truck is a high mileage truck. It's got over nearly 300,000 miles on it. So I picked a high mileage oil for my vehicle. Now, it's more than just that. Each vehicle has a certain type of oil that it takes. So you're going to have to look that up or even ask. The easiest thing to do is just go to your local auto parts store and tell them their make, model, and year and engine size of your vehicle, and they'll get everything you need for you. They'll tell you exactly what kind of oil you'll need and what oil filter you're going to need and the correct drain plug gasket you're going to need. For my truck, all I have to do is pop the hood and look at the engine. Right there on top, the 5.4L, that means 5.4 liters. Also, my vehicle also happens to tell me exactly what type of oil I need. So I look right here on this little sticker inside my truck. It says right here, 5W30 is the type of oil my vehicle takes. The next thing I want to talk about is safety. In the Army, we had a saying, safety first and sometimes even second. So this right here is a wheel chock. I like to put this thing in front of my tire and one behind, like that. That way my vehicle is not going to move on me, and it's not going to roll over me. I also always set the brake. There, you could have a brake that you push down like that, or you may have one where you have a handle that you pull up. Either way, set your brake to keep your vehicle from moving on you. If you have a vehicle that's low clearance, you're going to need a couple other things. You're going to need a jack and some jack stands. Now, some people will jack up the car without using jack stands, but I want you to know that is dangerous. You can never trust a jack to hold up a vehicle by itself. Even though a jack is made to hold the weight of a vehicle, they do fail. And I have seen them collapse at times. Sometimes they will roll over, sometimes they will just slowly go down. Either way, you do not want to be underneath a vehicle when a jack begins to go down. That's why there's these jack stands. These jack stands will help hold up your vehicle and keep you safe. Now, let me show you the placement of your jack and your jack stands. First thing, you want to look for a solid spot to put your jack. Now, you're going to look for the frame, a solid frame. Right there, that's a solid part of the frame. You could put your jack on that. This is where I would put the jack. Put your jack directly underneath the frame. Raise up one side of your vehicle at a time. Now, once you have it to the height that you want to set it at, then you take your jack stand, put your jack stand underneath the frame, and then raise it up to hold it in the spot where you want to keep it. And then do the same thing with the other side. Once you have your vehicle secure, then you can begin the oil changing process. make sure you open your vent plug and these drain plugs here before you drain the oil from your vehicle. Otherwise, you are going to have a flood. Now, I have this big catch pan. You don't need to have it, but sometimes it's a good idea. You don't necessarily have to have it. Sometimes I'll just get a bunch of rags just in case I happen to spill it. Now I'm gonna put this directly underneath my drain plug. I'll go underneath there in just a moment, open up the drain plug and drain the oil. But first, before you drain the oil, you want to open up your oil cap. That allows the air to flow through nice and smooth as you're draining it out. That's my oil drain plug, and I placed my catch basin down here below it, at kind of not directly below it, but where it's going to pour out. Remember, my vehicle's got 6 quarts of oil. It's going to go back in this thing, so that's 6 quarts of oil that's going to come out. So it's going to come out probably pretty fast. On my vehicle, the oil filter is underneath my bumper. It's a strange place. A lot of vehicles, the oil filter's like directly in the middle of the vehicle, right there at the bottom. But mine is right there in the middle. So you take this, so I put the oil filter wrench around it. I tighten it, I pull in the strap. So I'll show you, I'll take it off in a minute and show you how I did it. Like this. Pull it tight, and then I'm just gonna turn it. Once you got it loose with a wrench, a lot of times you could just turn it with your hand. There you go. And more oil should come out of this oil filter. So you gotta have that catch basin underneath it and ready for more oil to pour out. And I just set it in there and just let it drain. It's gonna slowly drip out. That's what it looks like without the oil filter on there, as it's slowly dripping out. For the new oil filter, what I always do, take a little dab of oil and just rub it around the outside of this. This will help it get a good seal when you put it back on. So I also like to pour a little bit of oil into the filter itself. Now remember, as you tighten this down, you're gonna tighten this with your hands, and you are not Magilla Gorilla. So you're gonna tighten this down nice and tight, but you want to be able to take this off again someday. Put your cap back on. Mine has a single click. Pull it out. And there it is, right there at the max. So what do you do with the oil, you ask? Well, great question. What I always do is I take it down to my auto parts store. O'Reilly's is what I have close by me, and they take old oil and they recycle it. Doesn't cost a thing. Just take your oil container in. I would clean it off, get yourself some rags, wipe this puppy down good and thoroughly, get it nice. So it doesn't have to be perfect, obviously. It's an auto parts store. Take it in, just walk in, put it on the counter, and they'll just tell you they're gonna take it out back. They're gonna dump the oil in a container they've got. Then they will give you your container back. This thing is yours to keep. So they'll dump it, you get it back, and you'll have it for the next time you change your oil. So you just changed your own oil. Congratulations. And you didn't die. So remember, be safe, have fun, and if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that right now. That'll help my channel. You could really help me out there. So, have a great day.